Greetings, fellow Now What participants. Ben Roberts here with an invitation related to the gift economy element of Now What. As you hopefully know by now, there are sort of three different aspects to this gathering. Lots and lots of small group conversations um, from which we harvest into a collective harvest space. Meaning making based on that harvest that connects ideas across conversations and offers artistic and inspirational expressions of meaning, ideally things that open our hearts, and a gift economy, a culture of generosity, an invitation to offer your gifts in service to what you care about most. Um, and this little video is about that third element. Yesterday on the Now What Cafe, which is kind of an open space for lots of different things to happen, a small group of us were on the call and we decided to energize the gift economy aspect. We went over to the Now What network map, and I will share that with you now to show you a little bit of how you can play with this map, because what we did is something that you can do as well in one form or another. Certainly, if you come on to the Now What Cafe, those are calls that happen 3 times a week. You can be part of a small group that does that there if there's interest. You can also do this on your own using the data that's on the map. So this is the main view here of the Now What Network map. Um, and this is the sort of information sidebar that you see. Just a quick little note on how you use the map. The tab key will make this sidebar go away, so you can make the map bigger. So will these 3 little dots here. In this main view in the sidebar, there's a link to 4 different views on the map. The main map view is what you see here that shows all the different individuals that have registered as well as their connections to one another. We've got a geographic view, a view based on who is asking for invitations from particular Now What partners, which we're up to 23 of, by the way, right now. So you might want to go back to the survey and your profile and update that to request some more of those invitations from some of the newer ones. And then the one that we're going to talk about here, which is needs and offers clustered. And just a little note that the map is getting a little bit sluggish because we're up over 300 people and a handful of organizations as well. The network or the Now What partners have also been invited to put themselves on the map. So this is the needs and offers view, and now what you see is everyone who completed their profile and indicated that they had skills they either wanted to offer or wanted support for. And what we did, you can close this sidebar and you can zoom in, either just using your mouse or the plus sign here to see the different skills that are here in the middle. You can click and drag this. And our little group just picked leadership as one that resonated for the 3 of us. So you can select that and then use the focus key over here to just clear out all the data except that relating to that one particular skill. And what you see now are all the people that either requested or offered that. And the solid line shows they were offering that kind of support, and the dashed line shows they were requesting it. So what our little group did is somewhat just by intuition and randomly, we picked the names of 4 people that were requesting leadership support. And you can find them by clicking on them. Again, you can open up the sidebar and see their information. And in most cases, their email is there. So we compiled a short little email list of those 4 people and sent invitations out to them. We also recorded a brief video that you'll find on the Now What YouTube channel about the skills, the particular skills that we were offering in terms of leadership, because obviously these are big categories and it's hard to know whether what somebody wants and what you have to offer or vice versa are a good match. So we recorded a little video about that. And I just sent an email off to those 4 people, inviting them to be part of a call. The 3 of us on the cafe found a time that was good for us to meet. That's also on the Now What calendar. I might have to refresh this one. So here it is, leadership support at 9 a.m. Eastern on Tuesday, November 19th, which is going to be a little bit early in the morning for people on the US West Coast, but perhaps a good time for people elsewhere. So you could do this if you're going to play this game yourself. You could use this to put it up as an open offer, particularly if you're a collective member. Um, but you could also just go back to that, go to the map and find a few people, and reach out to them directly and say, look, here's what I'm interested in. Maybe record a video yourself and share it, or just write something. I looked at your profile, so let's take an example of somebody here who's requesting support, and you're somebody who wants to offer support. You can open up their profile and look at what they're up to and say, wow, Ernesto's involved in cooperatives that provide solar power and energy efficiency to local communities in New England. I actually have some experience with that in Catalonia, and would like to learn more about what he's doing, but also offer some support based on what I know. And so you send Ernesto an email and say, hey, let's get together and do this, right? It can be very fine-tuned and sort of mycelial in how you operate. Or you might find, two or three people. You could also look at who's offering the same skill you want to offer, and say, oh, look, let's take a look at Shulamith. Loving the earth and the human potential, learning to love myself, thanks to you all here. Now that really resonates for me. So I'd love to get, to connect with Shulamith and get to know her better. Um, she sounds pretty cool, actually. I can tell you she is very cool. So you can play that game too, and just try to convene a small group, whether it's during the course of Now What, which wraps up, as you may know, on November 22nd, or just using the fact that this all exists to play this game going forward. It would be nice if it happens in the next 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, so that we can record that as part of the outcome, and celebrate it in our closing. But certainly you're not limited in that way. Anyway, so there's something like 20 different skills that are listed, in this view of the map, and so there's lots of information to play with. Something like 300 people that have completed, that are on the map, but I think a little less than 100 that have completed the profile so that you can play this game. And maybe you're somebody who hasn't completed your profile yet, but this might give you an incentive to go ahead and do it. You can see here some of the different skills, that we identified. Um, and so with that, I think I'm done just outlining this particular element of Now What. I just want to kind of reemphasize that um, this is the action element. There's a lot of concern that I hear as somebody who facilitates dialogue, for a living, and as a gift to the universe and the initiatives for change and healing and restoration that I care about. Um, People worry a lot about things being all talk and no action, and it's not. I see those things as so deeply intertwined and often mysterious that I'm less concerned about it than many people. But I get that, everyone's time is very precious, that we're in an urgent time in history right now. And so people really feel a need to be doing something that makes a difference, and often don't know what that might be, what. So here's an invitation to do something small, to offer a gift that taps into some of what you are most energized by, and a way to build connections, which is part of the underlying goal of all of this. And Now What is to deepen and enrich the mycelial mat of our interconnectedness. You look at that network map with all the different people on it, and it really looks like a mycelium. And I think that's one way to think about this. And you could think about any sorts of conversations where this sort of support happens as maybe a mushroom that's popping up from that mat, something temporary and small, but nourishing and maybe even mind altering, maybe toxic. Be careful what you ask for or what you do. That also might spread spores in some way, or that somehow mysteriously launching things out into the world. Well, in fact, in maybe not mysterious ways, right? If you provide key support to somebody, who knows what that catalyzes in the world, right? Although a single mushroom produces billions of spores, so we'd have to tell your story and have it go viral to really have that metaphor play out. Anyway, I'm rambling a little bit, partly just because I'm so intrigued by what's possible here, and um, you know, aware in a somewhat challenging way personally of just how thin a slice of the larger set of possibilities we're currently tapping into and now what. But it's an experiment, it's a prototype. The plan is, of course, to do this again twice a year in the second and fourth quarters of each year. If this doesn't happen in this round of Now What, hopefully you'll be back again for the next one and we'll play this game together. Thanks so much.